So I'm Tonglen Palyon, and I'm one of the nuns here at Chenrezig Institute. And I just got back a couple of weeks ago from doing a retreat. So I'm still getting used to it, getting used to being back here. Anyway, I thought we'd do a meditation on loving kindness and compassion today. And I've just got Rinpoche here on my iPad for backup, just in case I don't know what to say. Okay, so first of all, we can just sit ourselves in a position for meditation. So if you're sitting on a chair, just have your feet on a cushion or on the floor so that they're flat. And if you're sitting on a chair, it's best to sit upright, quite upright, without using the backrest if you can. Just like everybody on the floor, we've not got backrests. So, and if you're on the floor, sitting cross-legged, and everybody sitting with our backs straight. So we put our right palm on top of our left and our thumbs touching, and we settle those in our lap, about 4 finger widths below the navel. Resting our tongue at the back of the top teeth. That's to stop any salivary flow. And having our eyes either slightly open or gently closed. Just tilting your head slightly forward. So now thinking that we'll let go of all the thoughts that whatever we were chatting about, letting that go and bringing ourselves very present, right here in the Gompa, being very aware of sitting on the cushion, bringing yourself very present. So we'll start off with a breathing meditation just to settle our minds. So we're going to focus on the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils, or the rise and fall of the abdomen, whichever you're comfortable with. So we'll just watch our breath as it enters the nostrils and leaves the nostrils. And that's the object of the meditation, to watch the breath. And as soon as you notice that you've wandered from that, just very gently and kindly with yourself, bring yourself back to the breath. So that's all we need to do for the next 5 minutes or so. So that's our job, just to bring ourselves back to the breath. So letting go of any thoughts, feelings, sensations or sounds, just focusing on our breath. So as soon as you notice that you've wandered off to other thoughts, feelings, sensations, or sounds, just very kindly and gently bringing yourself back to the breath. So letting go of anything else. It's our job to just maintain our awareness on the breath. So now we can establish a motivation. So we're engaging in this meditation to become more familiar with our mind, to come to know our own mind. And also thinking that we're not doing this meditation for ourselves alone. We're doing this meditation for every single living being throughout space. So we can gather all of them around us, just with ourselves in the middle, just visualizing beside us our mother and father, father on the right, mother on the left, all our friends and family behind us. Anybody we have difficulty with, we put them in front. And all the rest of the sentient beings, all the people we don't know, just gathering them all around us, everywhere, throughout the sphere of space. Developing a heartfelt connection with all these beings, thinking that they're just like me, they just want happiness and they don't want suffering. It's all we ever want, just want happiness and not suffering. But that happiness is very difficult to find. The true lasting happiness, that is. The happiness and freedom that will lead us to enlightenment. So I think we'll do Rinpoche's meditation, just because it'll probably be easier for me. So Rinpoche's motivation says, all sentient beings should be living in perfect happiness and its cause right now. But it is extremely difficult for them to achieve this from their side alone. As we look at kind mother sentient beings, they appear lost. The wisdom eye blinded by the cataract of ignorance, crazy with delusion, unconscious. They are always stepping over the very fearful precipice into the three lower realms. All mother sentient beings are hungry for happiness and yet are completely ignorant of its causes. All mother sentient beings do not want even the slightest suffering, and yet they create only its causes. They do not know of the peerless happiness of enlightenment or even the perfect happiness of liberation. So lacking a virtuous teacher to lead them to those perfect goals, they commit many negative actions of the three doors of body, speech, and mind, and so are constantly being reborn in the lower realms. But we have attained the perfect human rebirth with the possibilities of practicing the Dharma and fully be developing method and wisdom. And having met the Guru who can lead us to enlightenment, we are able to recognize what is to be practiced and what is to be avoided. Therefore, for all these reasons, we should develop great compassion for all mother sentient beings and take the responsibility on ourselves of leading them all to destroy the causes of suffering and attain the causes of perfect happiness. To do that, we offer all our happiness, including enlightenment, and all our belongings to all mother sentient beings, and in turn, take on all their suffering and problems. So the practice of taking makes the practice of compassion practical and successful. And the practice of giving makes the practice of love practical and successful. So thinking with feeling how good it would be if all mother sentient beings were completely released from suffering, and by seeing all the different sufferings they are experiencing. Also, great love should be deeply meditated on with strong, heartfelt feeling by thinking that all sentient beings should have great happiness, by visualizing giving them all the greatest happiness, including enlightenment, and rejoicing that we are able to do that. And we do these things, these meditations. The main purpose of this is to control and destroy the self-cherishing mind, our self-cherishing mind. So now we'll actually do this practice. It's called Tong Len, taking and giving. So taking on all the suffering of sentient beings and giving sentient beings all our happiness. As you slowly breathe in, imagine that you take on all the suffering and causes of suffering of other living beings in through your nostrils in the form of black smoke. So just breathing in and thinking that you're taking on all the suffering of other sentient beings, all their physical sufferings, all their mental sufferings. And then breathe out. And then when you breathe in again, taking on all their sufferings and the causes of those sufferings. Imagine it as black smoke entering your heart, where there is a black rock of self-cherishing. So breathe into that. If you have an illness or some other problem, focus first on all the numberless other beings with that same problem. Then think of all the other problems experienced by living beings, as well as their causes. As you slowly breathe in this black smoke, like plucking a thorn from their flesh, you immediately free all the numberless living beings from all their suffering. The black smoke comes in through your nostrils and absorbs into the self-cherishing mind in your heart, completely destroying that self-cherishing. At the same time, and you may not have heard anything about a false I, but I will just read it as it is. At the same time, the false I that ignorance holds to be truly existent also becomes completely empty, as it is empty in reality. So we're going to do this meditation in a little bit more depth now. So to do the meditation more elaborately, you can take from others, again, in the form of black smoke, all the undesirable environments that they experience. For example, and Rinpoche talks about some hell realms which Buddhists learn about. So I'm going to just read it as it is. All the undesirable environments that they experience. For example, imagine that you were breathing in the red hot burning ground of the hot hells, the icy mountains of the cold hells, the inhospitable environments of the hungry ghosts and animals, and the dirty places of human beings. And if you can't relate to that, just think of environments that other people are living in that you find that it would be difficult for you to live in. So just take on these unwanted environments that sentient beings live in. Even very rocky grounds, dry places, places of drought, places of flood. Places with very stale air, very dark, not experiencing any daylight, etc. Just sincerely just take it on. It's not going to harm us. It's going to develop our mind. So the black smoke comes in through your nostrils and down to your heart, where it absorbs once again into the self-cherishing mind, completely destroying it. Even the object that your self-cherishing treasures, the real I, that appears to exist from its own side, becomes completely empty. So next, we do the giving part. Generate loving kindness by thinking that even though living beings want happiness, they lack it because they are ignorant of its causes or are unable to create them. Even if they achieve some temporary happiness, they still lack the ultimate happiness of full enlightenment. So think how wonderful it would be if all living beings had happiness and the causes of happiness. Then generate loving kindness by thinking, I myself will bring them happiness and its causes. So visualizing your body as a wish-granting jewel that can grant all the wishes of living beings. And then, as you breathe out, give everything you have to living beings in the form of pure white light. So you could give them all your love, your kindness, your generosity, your possessions. Give all of your good karma of the 3 times and all the happiness that results from it up to enlightenment. Give them all your virtues and all your future virtues, your possessions, your family, your friends, and your body visualized as a wish-granting jewel. So give them everything that's going to make them happy. All the living beings receive everything they want, including all the realizations of the path to enlightenment. Those who want a friend, find a good friend. Those who want a job, find a satisfying job. Those who want a doctor, find a qualified doctor. Those who want medicine, find excellent medicine. Those who want a guru, find a perfect guru. For those with incurable diseases, you become the medicine that cures them. So by visualizing this extensive practice of generosity, you incidentally create the cause of your own wealth and success in this life and future lives. Being generous to others creates the cause of your own success. And with that success, you can then benefit others even more. In addition to these temporary benefits, you will receive the ultimate benefit of enlightenment. Since animals mainly need protection, visualize protecting them from being attacked by other animals and giving them food, shelter, and whatever else they need. They receive everything they want, and everything they receive becomes the cause for them to actualize the path and become enlightened. So imagine giving animals everything that they need. Right, so there is more to the meditation, but we're going to run out of time. So anyway, I'll just read the end of it. So after everyone has become enlightened in this way, we can rejoice by thinking, how wonderful it is that I have enlightened every single living being. So in rejoicing, feel great joy, great wonderment in your heart for having freed every single living being from all their sufferings and led them to full enlightenment. How wonderful, how precious it is, how amazing. And now we can bring to mind once again all the sentient beings, all those people, the living beings we gathered around us at the beginning, our mother and our father, our friends and family, our enemies, and all the strangers. So we can think that we can gather together all the merits that we've accumulated and we can dedicate it to them. May this be a cause for them to meet with the Dharma, with all the teachings. May they be able to generate all the realizations of the stages of the path in their mind stream. May it be a cause for them to give rise to renunciation, bodhicitta, and correct view, and then to attain the fully enlightened state. And of course, this includes us as well. So dedicating the merit so that we ourselves can give rise to all the stages of the path in our mind stream. And we ourselves can give rise to the mind of renunciation, of bodhicitta, of correct view, and quickly attain enlightenment. And may this be a cause for us to lead every single living being to enlightenment by ourselves alone. So when you're ready, you can bring your awareness back to the room. So I hope it wasn't too much for you. It was a little bit of an advanced meditation, but it's very nice and it can be very heart-opening. Yeah. Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for coming. Have a lovely afternoon. Okay, thank you.